Have you ever noticed how life seems to mirror back, not what we wish for, but what we speak with certainty? A person may plead for prosperity, repeating, "Please God, send me money," and yet nothing changes. Another speaks with firmness, "Money comes to me quickly and easily, and doors open where there were none." Why does one plea dissolve into silence while one command sets the universe in motion? The answer is as ancient as creation itself. The universe responds to command, not to begging. When you lift your hand and tell it to move, you do not beg it, you do not negotiate with it, and you do not wait for it to consider. You simply command, and it obeys. This is the forgotten truth of money, health, love, and every good thing. Reality is a servant to the clear decree of your spirit. Yet most people unknowingly command lack. With every sigh of "I can't afford it," every muttered "money's always short," they send forth soldiers of lack to arrange circumstances accordingly. Imagine for a moment a royal throne room. At the center sits a sovereign ruler, crowned and cloaked, holding the scepter of authority. Before the throne stand loyal messengers ready to sprint at a single word. The ruler speaks, "Build me a garden of roses," and the messengers fly into action. Now imagine if that ruler, instead of issuing commands, wrung their hands and said, "Oh, I do hope one day I'll have a rose garden. Please, someone make it happen for me." The messengers stand confused, paralyzed, waiting for a clear command. Such is the tragedy of most lives, divine authority, waiting unused heavenly messengers, standing idle because no decree has been spoken. I once knew a woman, Clara, who embodied this shift. For years, she begged the universe for money, whispering prayers in tears. "Please God, just enough to pay the bills," and every month, just enough arrived no more. Then one day, desperate and exhausted, she shifted. She stood in her small kitchen, raised her voice, and declared, "I am rich in every way. Money flows to me with ease. I command it to appear now." She told me later it felt absurd, almost like play acting. But something in her voice trembled with new authority. Within a week, a forgotten insurance refund arrived. Within a month, she was offered freelance work that doubled her income. Within a year, she owned her first home. The universe had been waiting not for her pleas, but for her command. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "The game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us sooner or later with astounding accuracy. When you plead, you command delay. When you complain, you command struggle. When you declare with certainty, you command wealth." The question is not whether you are commanding. The question is, what are you commanding? The forgotten power of command is not arrogance. It is alignment. Just as you command your hand to move, you command your world to align. The hand does not argue, "Who are you to tell me what to do?" It responds because it is yours. The world, too, is yours by divine design. Money is your servant, not your master. It waits for your decree. So I ask you now, what words have you been sending out as decrees? Have you been commanding poverty without realizing it? Have you been ruling your kingdom with sighs and shrugs instead of scepters and commands? Pause with me here. Breathe deeply. Feel the throne beneath you. In the silence between breaths, imagine the messengers of the universe standing before you, waiting attentive. What will you decree today? And if you've ever felt tired of waiting for money, tired of hoping, begging, and pleading with life, then declare it here and now. Type one command in the comments. Speak it aloud Claim it, for today marks the moment you remember who you are. From the very beginning of creation, humanity was given a sacred charge. In the book of Genesis, it is written, "Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and over all the earth." Dominion is not something you earn. Dominion is your birthright. Dominion means authority, rulership, and command over the material realm. It was never meant that money, circumstance, or lack should govern you. You were designed to be the commander, the ruler, the gardener of your own Eden. Yet how many walk this earth as though they are beggars at life's door? How many shrink under the weight of guilt whenever they desire wealth, whispering, "Perhaps it is selfish to want more"? They forget that to command abundance is not arrogance, it is obedience to their original design. To deny your dominion is to deny the image of the Creator within you. Think of the gardener. She does not plead with the soil to grow. She does not beg the sun to shine. She tends the ground plants, the seed waters with care, and commands the plant's growth through her actions, her certainty, and her trust in the laws of nature. The rose does not hope to bloom, it simply responds to the conditions given it. So too does money respond to you. It waits for your certainty, your tending, your command. Let us paint a picture together. Imagine a vast throne room radiant with golden light. At its center stands a throne carved with symbols of victory, wealth, and peace. This throne is yours. Upon it rests a crown not of arrogance, but of divine authority. Around the hall are treasures, resources, opportunities, streams of income, all waiting silently. They are not withheld. They are not locked away. They are waiting for you to take your rightful place upon the throne and say with calm certainty, "I allow, I command, I claim." Do you see now why guilt has no place in wealth? If a ruler in the throne room feels guilty about commanding their servants, nothing will move. Imagine a king rising timidly saying, "I'm sorry to bother you, but could you possibly fetch me water if you have the time?" His servants would exchange confused glances. Authority misused is cruelty, but authority unused is tragedy. Wealth is not hoarded power, it is commanded flow. Money is meant to circulate, to build, to bless. It cannot bless if you refuse to summon it. I recall a man named Stephen who grew up with strict teachings that money was dangerous, even sinful. For years he felt ashamed every time he thought about wanting more. He lived modestly, scraping by, yet his heart longed for freedom. One day he read the words of Scripture differently. "Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you." He realized that asking was not whining, it was commanding with faith. He began to affirm daily, "Money is my servant. I was born to live in dominion, not in lack." Within 6 months, he received a promotion that doubled his income. More importantly, he shed the cloak of guilt. He stood tall in his identity as a child of God, with authority over his finances. Now, let us make this practical. Each day, you are issuing commands whether you realize it or not. Words are seeds. Thoughts are decrees. Every time you say, "I can't afford," that you command poverty to continue. Every sigh of "money's always tight" is a royal decree summoning lack. It is not life being unfair, it is life being obedient. Life is too faithful to ignore your words. Consider how casually we throw around commands of lack. A friend invites you to dinner, and you reply, "I'd love to, but I'm broke." Command issued. You see something beautiful in a store window and sigh, I could never afford that. Command issued. A bill arrives in the mail and you mutter, this money will never stretch far enough. Command issued. And like dutiful messengers, the universe carries out the decree, arranging more situations that affirm your words. But imagine instead if you shifted your speech. Your friend invites you to dinner and you respond, yes, abundance makes a way. The item in the window catches your eye and you say, that is beautiful and money flows to me for all I desire. The bill arrives and you declare, this bill is already paid by divine supply. Feel the difference. One is command in lack, the other is command in dominion. Pause now and let this truth sink deep into your bones. You are the commander. Money is not your master. Dominion is your birthright. If wealth is yours to command, then let guilt dissolve. For every time you step into your dominion, you create more opportunities, more blessings, more circulation of good for others. A wealthy gardener produces more fruit to feed the village. A wealthy soul blesses the world. So I invite you to reflect. What poverty commands have you been accidentally issuing in your life? What words of lack have been slipping from your mouth unnoticed, yet shaping your reality with perfect accuracy? Share one way you might have been accidentally commanding lack in your life. By naming it, you disarm it. By recognizing it, you reclaim your authority. Have you ever caught yourself laughing with friends and saying, well, you know me, I'm always broke? Perhaps you've stood in front of something beautiful, a coat, a trip home, and whispered to yourself, I can't afford that. These phrases slip from our tongues so casually that we barely notice them. Yet each word is a decree, a command that shapes the soil of reality. The tragedy is that most people are fluent in the language of lack. They have memorized the dictionary of poverty phrases, repeating them so often that the universe simply obeys. Remember, these words are not idle. They are seeds. Each time you say money's tight, you plant a seed of restriction. Each time you declare, I'll never get ahead, you sow a harvest of delay. And life, ever faithful, brings forth the fruit of those seeds. Let me tell you about Maria, a woman whose humor had become her own prison. At every family dinner, she'd joke, don't ask me to pay, I'm the poor one in the family. Everyone laughed, including her. But year after year, her finances stagnated. One day, she realized her jokes were not harmless, they were commands. She decided to stop mocking herself and began saying, I am the prosperous one in the family. At first, her relatives chuckled, thinking it another joke, but soon they noticed her reality shifting. Within a year, Maria had paid off her debts and started her own thriving business. The universe had simply obeyed her new decree. Humor can be a disguise for command. Sarcasm can be a hidden prayer. Well, if money grew on trees, maybe I'd have some. Knowing my luck, I'll never find a good-paying job. These words spoken with a laugh still carry weight. The soil of the subconscious does not care whether you were joking or not. It only hears the vibration. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, your word is your wand. Imagine holding a wand and with each phrase waving it to conjure reality. Would you wave your wand and shout, I am broke? Would you strike the air with, there's never enough? Of course not. And yet, how often do we unconsciously perform this very magic? Let us lighten the moment with some common poverty commands. Easy come, easy go. Another bill. Of course, story of my life. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's too expensive for me. I'm not lucky with money. Do any of these sound familiar? They are phrases so woven into everyday speech that we repeat them without thinking. But each is a lock on the treasury of abundance. Each is a command that bars the door to wealth. Now pause. Let's turn this into a practice of awareness. Bring to mind the last week. Did you say I can't afford it? Did you groan at a bill? Did you laugh about being broke? Write those phrases down, not to shame yourself, but to become conscious. For only what is recognized can be transformed. Here is the golden key. You do not fight these words with guilt. You replace them with truth. When the phrase "I can't afford," it rises to your lips, pause and reframe. It is not in my current budget, but money is flowing to me now. When the thought "money's always tight" comes shift, money expands for me with ease. Instead of sighing, "I'm broke," declare "I am wealthy," and my wealth appears now. I remember a man named Derek who used to grumble every payday. As soon as the money comes in, it's gone. And true to his words, it vanished. I taught him to replace it with "money circulates freely and returns multiplied." Within 3 months, his savings account began to grow for the first time in his life. His reality changed because his commands changed. This is the playful yet serious work of transformation, catching the unconscious decrees of poverty and rewriting them into decrees of abundance. It is both simple and profound. It requires vigilance, but it rewards with freedom. So I invite you into this moment of conscious choice. What phrase will you never again say about money? Declare it, write it, release it. For the moment, you stop commanding poverty. You stop receiving poverty. Comment one phrase you will never say about money again. Let your declaration be heard and let the universe take note. The money commander has spoken. The universe does not merely listen to your words, it listens to the power behind them. A command without energy is like a drumstick striking a broken drum. It makes a sound, but no resonance. A command infused with authority vibrates through creation, like a trumpet call summoning armies to move. This is why 2 people can speak the same affirmation, yet one sees immediate results, while the other sees nothing. It is not the string of words alone. It is the emotional authority that gives them life. Think for a moment of a military commander. He does not stand before his troops and whisper, "If it's okay, maybe we could march." His words are firm, his voice resonates with certainty, his posture radiates authority. The soldiers respond not because the sentence is particularly clever, but because the vibration of leadership leaves no room for doubt. Compare this to a hesitant subordinate mumbling, "I think." We might want to move. The troops look around, confused, unsure, unmoved. The difference is not language, it is authority. And so it is with money. When you declare "money flows to me," while inside you tremble with fear and disbelief, your command lacks potency. It is like a weak signal struggling to reach its destination. But when you rise into emotional authority, when your words vibrate with confidence, gratitude, joy, the universe cannot resist. It must obey. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Fear attracts failure. Faith attracts success." Your emotional tone determines whether your command is laced with fear or faith. Words spoken with desperation. "Please, I need this money now," carry the vibration of lack. Words spoken with authority. "Money comes to me now by divine right," carry the vibration of wealth. Let me tell you the story of Asha, a young entrepreneur who struggled to keep her business alive. She practiced affirmations daily, yet nothing seemed to shift. One afternoon, she came to me in tears. "I keep saying, I am prosperous, but I feel like a liar when I say it." I asked her to stop speaking and instead close her eyes. I guided her to recall a moment in her life when she felt utterly victorious, a race she had once won in school, the memory of standing tall as her classmates cheered. Her face lit up as she remembered. I told her, "Now from that feeling, declare your prosperity." With her voice strong and her body alive, she shouted, "I am prosperous." The room itself seemed to vibrate. Within weeks, clients appeared seemingly out of nowhere. What changed? Not the words, her emotional authority behind them. This is why emotional mastery is essential. A money commander does not issue commands from a place of trembling neediness. They issue commands from calm certainty backed by the vibration of joy, peace, and faith. Think of a radio. The universe is like a vast network of stations, each tuned to a certain frequency. If you speak the right words but transmit them on the wrong frequency, nothing connects. But when your emotions match the frequency of wealth, your words carry across the airwaves, clearly received instantly. Emotional authority is tuning yourself to the channel of abundance. How do we cultivate this authority? Let me share 3 steps. 1. Anchor into confidence. Before you speak a command, shift your state. Stand tall, breathe deeply, recall a moment of triumph. Speak not from the vibration of fear, but from the memory of victory. 2. Infuse emotion into the words. Do not mutter your affirmations as though you are reading grocery lists. Say them with fire, with joy, with certainty. The universe responds to the feeling behind the phrase. 3. Build rituals of authority. Daily practice small declarations with confidence. Stand before a mirror and command, "I am wealthy. Money obeys me. I live in dominion." Speak until your own voice convinces you. Like a muscle, authority grows with use. I once worked with a man named Victor who had a habit of speaking affirmations like a robot. He told me, "I've been saying, 'I am rich' every morning, but nothing changes." I asked him to declare it again, and indeed, his voice was flat, lifeless, almost resentful. I told him if I were money, I wouldn't run toward that voice, I'd run away. We laughed, and then I invited him to shout it with energy, as though commanding his army into victory. He straightened, his eyes lit, and he thundered, "I am rich." It startled even him. Within months, he received an unexpected inheritance and several new clients. The shift was not in the words, it was in the authority. Understand, this emotion is the electricity that powers your command. Without it, your words are empty shells. With it, your words are lightning bolts electrifying reality. Let us do a brief exercise together. Close your eyes. Imagine standing upon a great stage, a vast crowd before you. Feel the weight of leadership settle upon your shoulders. Hear the echo of your own voice filling the hall. Now speak aloud, "I command wealth now." Notice the resonance in your body, the vibration in your chest, the certainty rising within you. This is emotional authority. This is the voice of the money commander. And from this place of power, I invite you to declare boldly, "Here and now I stand in my power." Write it, speak it, let it echo. For every time you affirm your authority, you step closer into your rightful dominion. There comes a moment in every awakening when information is no longer enough. You have heard the truth that words are commands, that dominion is your birthright, that your emotions fuel the potency of your decrees. But now comes the most important step of all, stepping into the identity of the money commander. Not merely speaking commands, but becoming the commander from whom those commands naturally flow. For years, many live as the money needer. The money needer begs hopes and waits. The money needer looks at the world as master and himself as subject. His speech is littered with pleas. I hope I can make rent this month. Maybe one day I'll get ahead. The money needer is not evil. He is simply unconscious of his authority. But the money commander speaks differently. The money commander does not chase, he declares. The money commander does not shrink before bills. She commands supply. The shift from needer to commander is not a small adjustment. It is a transformation of identity. Imagine the money needer as one clothed in tattered garments. These garments are woven of fear, guilt, and lack. They whisper, "Who are you to command wealth? You should be grateful just to scrape by." They hang heavy, slowing his steps, dimming his vision. Many wear these garments for decades without realizing they are not skin but clothing that can be removed. The first step to becoming the money commander is this: shed the garments of the needer. Lay down the cloak of guilt, remove the tunic of fear, drop the sandals of unworthiness. Stand unclothed before life and remember who you are beneath radiant, royal, powerful. I recall a woman named Helena who had struggled for years with debt. She often said, "I'm just not good with money." That phrase became her identity. One day in a workshop, she was asked to write down all the beliefs she carried about herself and money. Her list was filled with self-condemnation. I am irresponsible. I am unlucky. I am always behind. The facilitator invited her to burn the paper in a small fire as a ritual of release. As she watched the flames consume those words, she wept. "I didn't realize how much I was identifying with lack," she said. That very week, she began introducing herself not as bad with money, but as a steward of abundance. Within months, her financial situation shifted dramatically. She had removed the garments of the needer. Now imagine a new wardrobe laid before you, a robe of gold, a crown of authority, sandals of confidence. These are the garments of the money commander. When you put them on, you no longer try to believe, you embody belief. When you walk into a store, you do not think, "I hope I can afford something here." You walk as one who knows everything here bows to the wealth that flows through me. When you pay a bill, you do not sigh, "There goes my money." You command, as this money goes out, it multiplies and returns to me. Identity is not changed by willpower alone. It is changed by practice, by visualization, by declaration. Let us walk through a guided sequence together. Close your eyes for a moment and allow yourself to be led into the throne room of abundance. See the golden hall, vast and radiant light pouring in from high windows. At the far end, upon a raised platform, stands a throne carved with symbols of wealth, victory, and dominion. This throne has always been yours, but until now, you have stood at the door uncertain, whispering your requests from a distance. Now step forward. Each stride is a release. With the first step, you shed fear. With the second, you drop guilt. With the third, you cast off unworthiness. As you walk, your old garments fall away, leaving only the light of your true self. You arrive at the throne. The crown awaits. Place it upon your head. Feel its weight, not heavy, but steady, grounding you in truth. You sit upon the throne, and instantly the hall awakens. Servants of the universe bow before you. Chests of gold open. Rivers of opportunity flow. They were never absent. They were waiting for your arrival. Now speak. Your voice is calm, but it carries power. Declare, I am the money commander. I command wealth, and wealth obeys. I live in dominion, not in lack. Money serves me, and I serve the divine flow of abundance. Hear your voice echoing through the hall. Feel the authority vibrating in your chest. Know that this is not imagination. This is your truest reality. When you rise from visualization, you must carry this identity into daily life. To command in the throne room but whimper at the mailbox is to abandon your crown. Every bill is an opportunity to practice dominion. Every purchase is a chance to affirm wealth. Every conversation is a moment to choose commander language over needer language. Here are some examples of the shift in identity. The needer says, I hope I have enough. The commander says, I always have more than enough. The needer says, money goes so quickly. The commander says, money circulates and returns multiplied. The needer says, I wish I could afford it. The commander says, money flows to me for all I desire. Each phrase is not just words, it is an embodiment of identity. Speak long enough as the commander, and soon you will become the commander. As you step into this identity, others around you will notice. They may ask, what changed? Why do you walk differently? Why does money seem to find you now? They will feel your authority. And here is the secret. Your command does not only transform your finances, it transforms the atmosphere around you. Your children learn to speak prosperity. Your friends feel uplifted. Your community begins to believe in abundance because you dared to embody it. Helena, the woman who burned her old beliefs, later told me that her children stopped saying, we're poor, and began saying, we are rich in every way. Her shift rippled into her household. Identity is contagious. When you wear the crown of the money commander, others are inspired to wear theirs. And so, beloved, I call you now to the decisive act. You have learned. You have remembered. You have been reminded of your throne. It is time to rise from the seat of the money needer and ascend to the throne of the money commander. Before we close this chapter, I give you this invitation. Share this message with someone who needs to command their abundance. For when you invite another to join you on this journey, you solidify your own identity. Commanders do not walk alone, they inspire others to rise. Today is the day. This is the hour. The crown is upon your head, the scepter in your hand. Say it now aloud and with authority. I am the money commander. I live in wealth. I command abundance and it obeys. And so it is. Beloved soul, before we go deeper, let us remember a universal truth. Money does not come because we wish it to, but because we command it with precision. Wishing is the language of the uncertain. Commanding is the language of the divine. Imagine for a moment that you are seated in a beautiful restaurant, the kind where every detail has been crafted with elegance and care. The waiter approaches, pen and notepad in hand, ready to serve. Now tell me what would happen if you looked up at the waiter and said, bring me something delicious. Maybe food, maybe dessert, maybe water. I don't know, just surprise me. The waiter would hesitate, confused. The kitchen would not know what to prepare. And even if something arrived, it may not be what you desired at all. But now imagine you sit tall, your voice steady, and you say, I will have the grilled salmon with lemon butter, roasted potatoes on the side, and a sparkling water with lime. The waiter writes it down. The kitchen goes into action, and before long, exactly what you requested arrives at your table. So it is with the universe. Vague requests bring vague results. Specific commands bring specific demonstrations. This is the language of command. It is precise, it is confident, and it is unwavering. When you say, I command $5,000 to arrive in my account within 7 days for the highest good of all, you are not asking. You are not begging. You are not even hoping. You are placing an order in the cosmic kitchen. You are speaking as one who knows the spiritual law that abundance already exists in infinite supply, and it flows to the one who speaks it forth with certainty. Notice the structure of this command. It is specific $5,000, not some money. It is timed within 7 days, not someday. It is aligned for the highest good of all, not at anyone's expense. This is how spiritual law is activated through clarity. Let me tell you a story of a woman named Clara. Clara had read books about manifestation. She had listened to teachings, but she found her results were scattered, inconsistent. Some months money appeared, other months she struggled. When she began practicing the language of command, everything changed. One evening, she sat in her quiet room, lit a candle, and declared aloud, I command $3,000 to arrive in my account by Friday to cover my rent and living expenses with ease and grace. She did not worry. She did not repeat it 100 times in fear. She spoke it once as a decree, as a sovereign ruler would. Within 3 days, an old client reached out unexpectedly, offering her a project that paid $3,200 up front. Clara laughed aloud, not in disbelief, but in recognition. Of course, the law is exact. From that day forward, she shifted from wishing to commanding, and her life was never the same. Here is the truth. The subconscious mind is the faithful servant of your spoken word. When you say, I hope money comes, the subconscious hears uncertainty and produces delay. When you say, I command money to arrive now, the subconscious aligns every unseen force to bring it about. Think of your subconscious as the mighty crew beneath the deck of a great ship. If the captain shouts orders with confidence, the crew acts without hesitation. But if the captain mumbles doubts or changes course every 5 minutes, the ship goes nowhere. You are the captain. Your word is the command. The subconscious is your crew. And money is the obedient servant that flows where it is directed. Now let us practice together. I invite you to speak these words with me aloud if you can. I command $5,000 to arrive in my account within 7 days, under grace, in perfect ways, for the highest good of all. Feel the difference in your body as you speak it. Notice the solidity of the number. Notice the power of the time frame. Notice the gentleness of the phrase under grace in perfect ways. This is not greed. It is alignment. It is not arrogance. It is authority. Do not be surprised when money responds through new clients, refunds, gifts, opportunities, or even debts forgiven. Remember, the form does not matter. The command is fulfilled in the way that serves all involved. Beloved, this is your moment. Write your first money command in the comments right now. Do not let the mind overthink. Trust your first impulse. Be specific. Be bold. Speak as one who knows they are the heir of divine abundance. For every word you write is a seed planted in the soil of spirit, and the harvest will not tarry. Beloved, once you have learned the sacred art of speaking money into form, there is another dimension of command. You must master the removal of obstacles. For many souls, wealth is not blocked because it is absent, but because it is dammed up, delayed, tangled, or held behind walls of resistance. Picture a great river, wide and powerful, flowing endlessly from the mountains. That river is the divine current of supply. It never dries up, never slows, never fails. But now imagine a fallen tree lodged in the center of the stream. Imagine stones piled high, creating a blockage. What happens? The water is still there, still abundant, still ready to move, but it cannot reach the fields downstream. So it is with money. The supply of spirit is infinite. It is always present, always flowing, always generous. But debts, delays, fears, and negative agreements act like logs and boulders, preventing the river from reaching you. The great secret is this: you have the authority to command these obstacles to dissolve. When you say, "I command every debt blocking my abundance to dissolve now under grace in perfect ways," you are not merely making a wish. You are speaking as one who knows the river belongs to them. You are instructing the unseen forces of law to clear the channel. Consider the story of a man named David. David had been waiting months for a large payment owed to him from a business deal. The client gave excuses, delays, and empty promises. David grew anxious, thinking perhaps the money was lost. One night, he remembered the principle of command. He stood firm and declared, "I command the release of all funds owed to me. Every delay is dissolved now. The flow of payment reaches me immediately under grace in perfect ways." The very next morning, he received a call. The client apologized, saying, "I don't know why I kept postponing this, but I just wired the full amount today." Within 24 hours, the money was in his account. The obstacle had never been real in spirit. It was only a log in the river. And once the command was spoken, the river surged forward, unstoppable. Beloved, let us speak honestly. Many people live under the weight of debts. They feel chained, as though the money they owe holds them hostage. But debt is nothing more than an illusion of lack, a temporary arrangement in the material world. Spirit does not recognize debt. Spirit only recognizes supply. You have the authority to command. I command every debt to be canceled, reduced, or paid in full with ease and grace. I command freedom from every financial chain. I walk in the wealth of spirit, and nothing opposes me. I once knew a woman named Marissa. She owed thousands of dollars on her credit cards and felt suffocated. Every month, she paid the minimum, yet the balance barely moved. One day, she shifted her words. She stopped saying, "I'm drowning in debt," and began commanding, "I command these debts to dissolve. I command unexpected income reductions and forgiveness now." Within weeks, 2 of her creditors sent letters offering to settle for far less than she owed. Another card unexpectedly reduced her interest rate. Simultaneously, she received freelance work that allowed her to pay off balances faster than she imagined. Within a year, what once felt like a mountain was gone. She said to me, "It wasn't that I worked harder. It was that the blocks were removed." The river finally flowed. Beloved, listen closely. Obstacles are not stronger than you. They are shadows, and shadows cannot withstand the light of command. Perhaps you have lost opportunities in the past. A job that slipped away, an inheritance tied up, a client that vanished. Do not grieve. I command every lost opportunity to return in greater form. I command all delays to transform into acceleration. Nothing is withheld from me, for I am the child of infinite supply. Spirit has a law of restoration. Whatever seems lost is multiplied and returned, but the law is activated only when you speak. Let us pause for a moment and practice together. Close your eyes if you wish, breathe deeply, and repeat after me. I command the removal of every obstacle to my financial abundance. I command debts to dissolve. I command payments to be released. I command opportunities to return. I command my river of wealth to flow freely now and always under grace in perfect ways. Speak it until you feel the certainty. The logs are gone. The stones are lifted. The river rushes forward. You may find, beloved, that as you begin to command obstacles to dissolve old beliefs, rise to the surface fears, doubts, the thought that money is hard to get, or I don't deserve wealth. Recognize these as nothing more than boulders in the stream. Do not wrestle with them. Do not analyze them. Simply I command every false belief in lack and struggle to be dissolved now. I walk in truth. I walk in abundance. I walk in freedom. Remember, the power is not in effort, but in word. The law responds to clarity, not struggle. Now I ask you, beloved listener, share one financial block you are commanding to vanish today. Speak it aloud in the comments. Write it boldly as a declaration. For when you name the obstacle and command it to dissolve, you step into authority. And as you do, the river begins to rush unstoppable, carrying to you the wealth that was already yours. Beloved, once the river of money flows freely to you, there is a deeper command to learn, the command of multiplication and circulation. For true wealth is not measured by what arrives once, but by what continues to expand, increase, and flow. Think of a seed planted in the soil. One seed of wheat does not return one seed. It returns a stalk, and on that stalk, dozens of seeds, each capable of multiplying again. So it is with money. Every dollar, when commanded, is not an end, but a beginning. The error of many is this: they think money is something to grasp tightly, to hold, and never release. Yet money, like water, grows stagnant when it does not circulate. The great truth is this: what you command multiplies when you also command it to move. Let me tell you a story of a man named Elias. Elias once said, "I always receive just enough. My bills are paid, but nothing more." And indeed, that is exactly what he lived, just enough. When he learned the principle of multiplication, he shifted his words. Instead of commanding, "I receive what I need," he began to say, "I command my money to multiply. Every dollar I receive doubles and triples. Money flows in through many channels, expected and unexpected. What I give returns to me multiplied." Within months, Elias saw miracles. A side investment he had forgotten about suddenly matured, bringing him thousands. A friend he had once helped repaid him generously, unprompted. His salary was increased without him asking. Everywhere he looked, multiplication appeared. He told me it was as though my words called money out of hiding. It was always there, waiting to multiply. Beloved, spirit is not limited to one channel. Do not say, "I command my paycheck to rise only," for then you limit the infinite. Instead, Say I command money to come to me from many sources, through work, through gifts, through investments, through ideas, through miracles. I command circulation and multiplication in all directions. Remember, your command opens doors you cannot see. Here is a sacred truth. Money loves motion. When you circulate it with joy, it returns with friends. When you clutch it in fear, it grows heavy. Imagine a lake with no outlet. The water becomes stale, lifeless. Now imagine a river always moving, always fresh, always abundant, which is richer. The river, because it gives and receives without resistance. So it is with you. When you pay a bill, say, I command this money to return to me multiplied. I bless it as it circulates. When you give a gift, say, I command this gift to bless the receiver and return to me in overflowing measure. When you invest, say, I command this seed to multiply in perfect ways, bringing increase to me and all it touches. Let us practice this together. Speak with me now. I command my money to multiply. I command it to circulate freely. Every dollar I spend returns to me doubled and tripled. Money flows to me from many channels. I live in an endless cycle of increase. Consider also the story of Naomi. She had long believed that giving money away meant losing it. She was generous, but always fearful. When she shifted her words, she began to bless her circulation. She said every time she paid for groceries, this money returns to me multiplied. When she tithed, she said, this is seed, and my harvest is abundant. Within a year, Naomi's income doubled. Unexpected refunds arrived. Friends gave her gifts. Even strangers blessed her. She told me, I no longer fear circulation, for I know it always comes back multiplied. Beloved, this is not greed. This is alignment. Multiplication is the nature of spirit. Look at the stars, countless multiplying in the heavens. Look at the trees, every fruit carries seeds beyond measure. Look at the ocean, wave upon wave, never ending. So it is with money. Its natural law is multiplication. You need only command it. And here is a deeper mystery. When you bless others in your commands, your multiplication increases. Say, I command wealth to flow to me in ways that bless every hand it touches. For when money circulates as a blessing, it grows stronger, swifter, more generous. Never fear that multiplication takes from another. Spirit is infinite. Your increase does not mean another's decrease. On the contrary, your abundance becomes their opportunity, and theirs becomes yours. Now, beloved soul, it is time for you to declare your multiplication. Say it aloud, write it boldly, and claim it now. I command my money to multiply without end. I command circulation to bless me and bless others. Every dollar I touch expands in perfect ways. Wealth flows to me in rivers of increase forevermore. And as you write, I ask you, comment, multiply to set your intention. For your word is seed, and every seed produces after its kind. As you do, you will feel the energy shift. Expect windfalls, expect refunds, expect promotions, expect gifts, expect the unexpected. For the law of multiplication has no limits. Beloved, there is a divine principle we must now embrace. True abundance blesses all it touches. Prosperity commanded in selfishness is narrow and weak, but prosperity commanded for the highest good of all is vast, unshakable, and eternal. Imagine a tide rising across the shore. every boat in the harbor, whether great or small, is lifted together, the tide does not say, "Only the largest ship shall rise," or "Let this one prosper while the others sink." No, the tide is impartial. It raises all at once. So too does Spirit intend for your wealth. It is not meant to bless you alone, but to flow through you, lifting others, creating harmony, and multiplying joy. When you command money with the intention that all are blessed, your words gain greater power. For then you align yourself with the universal law of good. Consider the story of Amira, a woman who once struggled in business. She prayed daily for clients, but her prayer was self-centered. "Let me make money. Let me succeed." She saw only slow growth. One day, she shifted her command. She said, "I command my business to prosper in ways that bless every client. I command wealth to flow into my life so that others may be uplifted. I command my work to create joy, harmony, and increase for all involved." The change was immediate. Clients began referring friends not only because of her skill, but because they felt blessed in her presence. Within 2 years, Amira's business had doubled, and she became known in her community not just as successful, but as a source of generosity. She told me, "When I stopped commanding money for myself alone, the floodgates opened. The more I blessed others, the more I was blessed." Beloved, understand this wealth is not a competition. The universe is not a battlefield of scarcity. It is a field of infinite supply where every soul has a seat at the banquet. When you say, "I command wealth to flow to me in ways that bless all involved," you are not limiting yourself. You are ensuring that your command is upheld by spiritual law, which only sustains what is harmonious. Wealth that harms another will always crumble. Wealth that blesses all will always expand. Let us practice together now. Speak these words aloud. I command win-win abundance. I command money to flow in ways that uplift me and uplift others. I command prosperity that blesses every hand it touches. As I rise, all rise with me. Feel how different this is from the old energy of grasping and clutching. It is expansive, joyful, and free. Consider also the philanthropists of the world, those who give not only after they have accumulated wealth, but as a way of life. They understand circulation. They understand that when money blesses others, it grows. A wealthy man once said, "The more I give, the more I have." And indeed, his fortune multiplied far beyond what he ever spent. His giving was not loss. It was investment in the endless cycle of spirit. Beloved, you too may command this cycle. I command wealth to circulate through me as a blessing. I am a channel of prosperity. I am a rising tide, lifting every boat around me. Let me remind you, blessing others does not diminish you. It expands you. If you give a candle flame to another, your own flame does not grow dim. Instead, the room grows brighter. So it is with money. Now, pause with me. Visualize yourself surrounded by a circle of people you love, family, friends, even strangers whose paths you cross. See yourself standing in the center, commanding abundance, not only for yourself, but for them. Say aloud, I command abundance for all within my circle. I command prosperity for my family, my community, and all who meet me. As my wealth grows, so too does theirs. I command blessings without end. This, beloved, is the secret of win-win abundance. It is not about taking, but about lifting. It is not about holding, but about flowing. And so I ask you now, tag someone whose life you'd love to see blessed by your abundance. Write their name as a seed of intention and declare with joy that as your tide rises, theirs shall rise too. For in the law of spirit, no blessing is ever withheld, and no prosperity is ever solitary. Beloved, you have now learned how to command with clarity, how to dissolve obstacles, how to multiply your money, and how to align your wealth with blessings for all. But there is yet one more mastery to embrace commanding money on autopilot. For wealth is not meant to be an occasional practice, something you remember only when in need. Wealth is a way of being, a constant rhythm, a spiritual atmosphere that surrounds you day and night. Just as your heart beats without effort, just as your lungs breathe without command, so too can your money flow continuously without strain, without interruption. The question is not, how do I make money once? The true question is, how do I live in the perpetual stream of abundance? The answer is simple: by programming your mind, body, and spirit to issue commands automatically through daily rituals, subconscious reprogramming, and sleep affirmations. Picture an airplane soaring across the sky. At takeoff, the pilot works with great focus, steering, adjusting, ensuring direction. But once the plane has reached its altitude, the pilot engages autopilot. The plane continues to fly safely, steadily, without constant manual control. So, it must be with your money. At first, you may need to command with deliberate focus, speaking aloud with strong intention. But over time, your subconscious takes over. The commands become embedded, and the flow continues whether you are awake or asleep. Your role is not to struggle, but to set the course and then trust the system you have programmed. Each morning when you rise, you have a window of immense power. The subconscious is most open just after waking. This is the moment to set your financial autopilot for the day. Do not rush. Do not check your phone in haste. Instead, sit for a moment, breathe deeply, and declare, I command money to flow to me today. I command opportunities, gifts, and income to appear with ease. Every action I take multiplies wealth. I walk in a river of prosperity. If you speak this daily, your subconscious begins to expect it, and what the subconscious expects it produces. One man I counseled, Julian, began this practice faithfully. Within weeks, he noticed that every day seemed to bring some form of financial blessing, a discount here, an unexpected sale, there a gift, a new client, even cash found on the street. He told me, it's as though my day begins with money looking for me. And indeed it does, for the command sets the course. Throughout your day, make every financial act a ritual of command. When you pay a bill, do not sigh or complain. Instead say, I command this money to return to me multiplied. When you make a purchase, do not say, I can't afford this. Say, I command money to refill instantly. I spend with joy, and it returns increased. When you receive money, whether large or small, declare, I command this money to multiply, circulate, and expand endlessly. These small, constant declarations build an autopilot program in your subconscious. Soon, even without effort, your mind automatically blesses, multiplies, and commands money in every moment. At night, before you sleep, you have another window of power. The words you speak last are the ones your subconscious carries into the dream state. Do not close your day with worry. Do not lie awake rehearsing fears. Instead, release with command. I command my money to flow even while I sleep. I command debts to dissolve payments, to release opportunities to multiply. My subconscious works for me all night, bringing wealth without effort. I once knew a woman named Sophia who adopted this nightly practice. She would place her hand on her heart, close her eyes, and declare her command before drifting to sleep. She told me, "It is as though I wake up richer every morning. Emails come overnight with opportunities. Payments process while I rest. My dreams themselves are filled with abundance." This is the nature of autopilot. The system runs whether you are watching or not. Do not be discouraged if at first you must repeat your commands consciously. Every repetition is a groove in the subconscious. Like water carving a riverbed, your words carve pathways in your mind. Soon, the river flows naturally without resistance. Affirm daily. I live in continuous flow. Money comes to me automatically. I am programmed for prosperity. My wealth increases whether I work or rest. I walk in abundance 24/7. Let me share with you the story of Marcus. Marcus was a teacher never wealthy by the world's standards. He began commanding money each morning and night. At first, nothing appeared to change. But within months, he began to notice a pattern: small scholarships offered for his children, grants for his school gifts, from relatives refunds on expenses. He said, "I realized my income had doubled not by my job, but by the flow spirit created around me." Then there is Olivia, who began declaring, "I make money even while I sleep." Within weeks, she had inspired to launch an online shop selling digital designs. Orders came overnight, and she awoke each morning to new income. She laughed, saying, "I never understood what passive income meant until I commanded it." Beloved, these are not exceptions. They are demonstrations of law. The highest mastery is this: to live in the awareness that money is always moving toward you. Not sometimes, not when you try very hard. Always, just as air surrounds you, just as your heart beats without effort, so too does money circulate constantly in your life. The key is to command it once, program your subconscious, and let it flow. Say aloud with me now: I command money to flow 24/7. I command wealth in waking and sleeping. I command endless streams of supply. My autopilot is prosperity. My default is abundance. My nature is wealth. Imagine, if you will, your life as a great golden river. It flows through every hour of your day, morning, noon, and night. See yourself stepping into that river. Feel it carrying you effortlessly, abundantly, joyfully. You do not push. You do not struggle. You float supported, carried by the current of divine supply. Now declare, I no longer chase. I no longer beg. I no longer worry. I live in automatic abundance. My autopilot is set. My wealth flows endlessly. I am one with the river of prosperity. Beloved, this is your invitation. Now commit by typing 24/7 flow below. Declare it publicly, write it boldly, and anchor it in your life. For what you write is what you command, and what you command becomes your living reality. Beloved, as we step into this final chapter of our journey, let us remember money is not merely a tool, nor is it a tyrant to be feared. Money is a flow, a current of divine substance that responds to your word, your belief, and your gratitude. Gratitude is the magnet. Command is the conductor. Together they form the gratitude command loop, a sacred circuit of attraction that never fails. Imagine with me now, a great invisible field stretches all around you. Like the Earth's magnetic field, it pulls and draws to itself what resonates with it. Every thankful thought you think is like charging that field with positive electricity. Every word of command you speak directs the current like a great golden river, flowing exactly where you desire it to go. When you give thanks, you fill the field. When you command, you shape its direction. And so gratitude without command is like water with no channel. It pools, it waits. Command without gratitude is like a channel without water, empty, unused. But when you unite the two, gratitude and command, you activate the living circuit of manifestation. Pause with me now. Breathe deeply. Place your hand over your heart. Whisper these words aloud. I am so grateful for the money that already flows into my life. And I now command greater increase, greater supply, greater ease. Thank you, Infinite Spirit, for making this so. Did you feel the loop activate? Gratitude filled your heart. Command directed your energy. Spirit sealed the word. Let me share a story. A woman once wrote to me that she had been journaling gratitude for months, pages filled with thankfulness for every penny, every small provision. Yet she confessed that though her heart felt lighter, her bank account remained the same. I asked her, do you ever command money? Do you ever tell it what it is to do for you? She had not, so I instructed her. Tonight, write your gratitude list. But then close your journal with a command. Write in bold letters, I command the perfect flow of money for my needs now. I command the supply for my rent. I command the supply for my dreams. Within a week, she reported that unexpected payments, refunds, and new opportunities had poured in, covering more than she had asked for. Gratitude had charged the field. Command had directed the flow. Now, let us enter this together. Close your eyes if you are able. Imagine a great golden circle around you. This is your gratitude command loop. It glows brighter with every thankful thought. Say with me, I am grateful for every coin that has ever passed through my hands. I am grateful for the money that paid for my meals today. I am grateful for the unseen supply already on its way to me. Feel the circle expand. Now, with holy boldness, begin to command.
I command the right opportunities to bring me money now.
I command divine increase in my accounts. I command debt dissolved and freedom restored. Gratitude command. Gratitude command. Back and forth, the circuit grows stronger, brighter, unstoppable. Beloved, let this be your practice. Each morning, write one thing you are grateful for about money. Just one thing. Then speak one command. Just one. And know that this loop, once activated, continues long after your words are spoken, like a wheel turning without end. For money is not your master. You are its commander. And your gratitude is the song it dances to. Write one thing you're grateful for about money today. Begin the loop. Seal it with a command. Watch the current respond. Beloved, once the loop of gratitude and command is alive in you, it must be anchored into your daily being. For manifestation is not a one-time event. It is a state, a posture, a way of walking in the world. The money commander is not timid. The money commander does not beg. The money commander walks in alignment, in certainty, in dominion. And you, beloved, are that commander. Every day, you anchor this mindset through your words, your posture, your tone. Stand before your mirror in the morning. Look yourself in the eye. Not with doubt, not with apology, but with authority. Stand tall. Shoulders back, chin lifted, and say aloud, I am the money commander. I walk in wealth. I speak increase, and it obeys me. Money flows to me now. The body anchors the belief. The voice seals the word. The reflection bears witness. Let me share another example. A man once told me he repeated affirmations daily, yet nothing seemed to shift. I asked him to demonstrate. He whispered timidly, I am wealthy. I am abundant. His shoulders were slouched, his gaze downward. His voice carried no authority. I said to him, say it again, but this time as if you were commanding a legion of angels. Straighten your spine, open your chest, speak as one who expects obedience. He tried again. I am wealthy, I am abundant. Money obeys me. His voice thundered. His reflection nodded back at him. Within weeks, his clients increased, his income doubled, and he laughed as he told me I finally believed myself. Beloved, you must believe yourself. Your word must carry weight. Anchor it daily. In your posture, stand tall, walk with dignity. In your voice, speak with resonance, not hesitation. In your thought, refuse doubt, refuse lack, refuse the language of fear. Each time you catch yourself shrinking, remind yourself, I am the money commander. I walk in wealth. If you will walk as a money commander from now on, comment, I walk in wealth. Beloved, you have heard the principle. You have practiced the command. Now let us turn to the living testimonies of those who dared to walk as commanders of money. For stories are seeds. When you hear another's testimony, it plants within you the knowing that if it was possible for them, it is possible for you. Infinite Spirit is no respecter of persons. What has happened once can happen again. Story 1, The Struggling Artist. There was a young woman, a painter, who long believed that starving artist was her destiny. She would whisper to friends, I love my work, but it will never pay. She painted with passion, yet her rent notices piled high. One day she stumbled upon the law of the spoken word. She began timidly, money loves me. My art is valuable. At first, she felt foolish, yet she remembered the gratitude command loop. So she took her journal and wrote, I am grateful for the colors that flow through me. I command my art to be richly rewarded. The very next week, a gallery owner happened upon her street display and purchased 3 paintings enough to pay her rent in full. Within months, her commissions grew, and she laughed as she told her friends, I am not a starving artist. I am a prosperous artist. Money loves my art. Her words shifted her world. Her testimony became her supply. Story 2, The Overwhelmed Father. A man weary under the weight of debt and family obligations once came seeking counsel. He said, I work long hours, but the money never stretches. I feel like a servant to bills. I asked him, who commands in your house, the bills or you? He paused. He had never considered that he was bowing to paper and ink. I told him, stand as the money commander. Command your money to obey. He began each morning before work by declaring, I command money to stretch and multiply. I command unexpected income now. I command debt dissolved. At first, nothing appeared to change. But within weeks, he received a promotion at his job, more pay, fewer hours. Then came a letter, a long-forgotten loan had been forgiven, wiping away thousands in debt. His relief was so deep that he wept not from fear, but from freedom. Today, he tells his children, your father is a money commander. We walk in wealth. Story 3. The Silent Believer. There was a woman who listened to teachings, but never spoke them aloud. She thought, "Surely Spirit knows my thoughts. Why must I declare?" She meditated in silence, but her money remained scarce. Then one day, her car broke down. With no funds to repair it, she stood in frustration and finally shouted, "Money come to me, now I command this repair to be paid in full." The very next morning, a neighbor knocked on her door. "I felt led to give this to you," he said, handing her an envelope with the exact amount for the car. She wept, but also laughed, for she understood the word unspoken is a seed unsown. She became a faithful commander thereafter, speaking aloud daily. Story 4. The Businessman's Leap. A businessman desired to expand, but feared the risk. His mind replayed, "What if I lose? What if I fail?" Yet he remembered the teaching command with vision. So he began declaring, "I command perfect clients. I command perfect contracts. I command my business to double in revenue." Soon, doors opened, new partnerships, international contracts, abundant flow. His fear was swallowed by faith, his risk turned into reward. He later testified, "The greatest investment I ever made was in my words." Beloved, these stories are not accidents. They are the natural demonstration of the law. Gratitude fills the field. Command directs the flow. The commander's word is law to money. You too have a story in the making. Somewhere right now, a testimony is forming in your life. Every word you have spoken, every command you have declared is gathering its harvest. Pause and feel this truth. Your testimony is already written in spirit. Soon it will be lived in time. When it arrives, do not keep it silent. Share it, for your words may inspire another. Just as these stories now stir faith within you, so your story will stir faith in another. Share your own story, even if it is just beginning. Your testimony may inspire someone else to step into command. Beloved, once you have walked in daily gratitude and command, once you have anchored your posture and voice, once you have heard the living testimonies, you are ready for greater works. For commanding money is not only for paying bills or meeting needs. It is for big life moves, for divine investments, for the expansion of your destiny. The money mission analogy. Imagine that you are a general sending forth a battalion on a mission. Money is your soldier. It awaits your order. If you do not command it, it wanders aimlessly. But when you give the order with clarity, money marches forth to fulfill the mission. What are your money missions? Is it to purchase a home, to invest in land, to fund your freedom from endless work? Each mission requires a clear, bold command. Visualization practice. Close your eyes and see the home you desire. Not in the distant future, but as though you are walking through its door right now. Feel the handle in your hand. Smell the scent of fresh wood or flowers in the entryway. Say aloud, "I command the perfect money for this home now. I command supply. I command ease." Do the same with investments. Picture yourself reviewing accounts overflowing with surplus. Declare, "I command wise investments. I command multiplied returns. I command wealth that builds wealth." Do the same with your freedom from work. Imagine yourself free rising when you choose traveling where you desire, doing what you love. Speak boldly. "I command financial freedom. I command money that works for me. I command abundance with joy." Beloved, money is eager to serve. but it cannot serve without orders. Speak your money missions daily. Keep them specific. Keep them bold. Keep them filled with gratitude. State your next big money command below. Speak it, write it, release it into the field. Now, beloved, we come to the grand finale. This is the sealing of the word, the proclamation of dominion, the collective decree that echoes in the unseen and shapes the scene. Stand if you are able. Lift your head. Feel the ground beneath your feet as holy ground. And let us declare together the call and response affirmation. I speak and you repeat. Let the rhythm build. Let the power rise. I declare money obeys me. You declare money obeys me. I declare I am the money commander. You declare I am the money commander. I declare wealth flows to me now. You declare wealth flows to me now. I declare I live in continuous money flow. You declare I live in continuous money flow. Now together, speak this layered affirmation. Each line adds strength upon strength. I am grateful for money already flowing. I command greater increase now. I declare my debts dissolved. I declare my accounts multiplied. I declare money as my servant, never my master. I live in divine overflow. I walk in wealth. I am the money commander. Repeat until your spirit feels the surge, until your voice vibrates with certainty, until your field glows with radiant command. Beloved, let us seal this once and for all. Say with me, it is done, it is sealed, it is manifested. I walk in wealth. I live in continuous money flow. I am the money commander now and forever. Breathe deeply. Feel the shift. The decree has gone forth. The field is alive. The flow is continuous. Type "it is done" to seal your declaration. Beloved, though we have spoken the final declaration, there is yet more to be sealed in your spirit. For manifestation is not a one-moment event. It is an eternal flow. It is not a single command. It is a continuous current of gratitude and dominion. Let us therefore enter into the awareness of the eternal flow. Imagine again that great golden river we spoke of earlier. See it stretching infinitely, winding through valleys, cities, fields, oceans. That river is money in its true nature, not paper, not coins, but divine supply, endlessly circulating, endlessly replenishing. Now imagine yourself stepping into that river. Feel the water around your ankles, then rising to your waist, then surrounding you fully. This is the continuous money flow. You do not chase it. You do not fear it. You dwell in it. It carries you effortlessly. Say aloud, I dwell in continuous money flow. I am surrounded by abundance. I move with ease, with joy, with freedom. The river carries you forward, never backward. It does not diminish, for it is fed by the infinite source spirit itself. As long as you remain in command, as long as you remain in gratitude, this river shall never run dry. Now let us shift the image. See money not as paper, not as currency, but as light, radiant streams of golden light flowing all around you. Every transaction glows, every account sparkles, every coin shines. You are not surrounded by scarcity, but by shimmering abundance. Whisper to yourself, I walk in golden light. Every step I take is supplied. I am illuminated by wealth. Let this vision sink into your very cells. Money is no longer heavy or feared. It is luminous, playful, radiant. It is light that dances at your command, the benediction of dominion. And now, beloved, I bless you with the benediction of dominion. Take these words into your heart as I speak them. May your word remain law in your life. May your gratitude keep the field charged. May your command direct the flow with precision. May your accounts overflow your debts, dissolve your opportunities, multiply. May you walk as a money commander, bold and unshaken, knowing that supply obeys your voice. And may you always dwell in continuous money flow today, tomorrow, and forever. Receive this blessing. Breathe it in. Feel it take root. Before we end, let us declare together one final time, in rhythm, in power, in certainty. Speak with me. I am grateful. I command increase.
I walk in wealth.
I live in flow.
I am the money commander.
And together, we seal it. It is done. If this journey has stirred your spirit, share this practice with another. For just as you are inspired, another waits for the seed of testimony. Together, we build a world of commanders walking in wealth.